Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who has experienced an ending in their life. This could be quitting a job, a lease being up, someone that misses you and may be taking this ending as kind of an opportunity. Uh, Freeing up of their time, or maybe they have the funds suddenly to be able to buy a ticket to come see you. This is someone who feels like this ending or this change in their life enables them to finally uh, make another attempt with you. If you're no contact, they want to establish contact, obviously, but more importantly, they want to have some time in person. And I think this is someone who you would have for probably a very long time, maybe even still, view as stubborn. But I do think that both of you are interested in reconciliation if they come correct. I don't think you're interested in repeating behavior or cycles. But this is someone who has seen the error of their ways. We've got somebody that realizes they need to change how they approach you, somebody who realizes that maybe they were a bit naive or a bit foolish, how they approached the situation, how they spoke to you, how they envisioned, their role in this. They're starting to see that maybe they were unwilling to consider what you needed or what you wanted and thought really just about what they wanted from the situation. And that's what they've had to work on, or that's what they've had to change. So, this is somebody who is less stubborn and acknowledges that you deserve better than how they treated you in the past. So, let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. If you are interested in a personal reading, my email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. And also recently added memberships, some little bit more on the reasonable or like less expensive. And then also got one that has a monthly reading included for you. Hello, Laura. Hello, Carl. How are we doing? All right, let's see what else we've got for you. This is the Mystical Cat Tarot, by the way. Seven of Sky, which is the Seven of Swords in the reverse, the Demon Cat, and the Earth King or the King of Pentacles in the reverse. This could be somebody who didn't like to stay in one place for too long. This could be someone who was a bit elusive or didn't have a lot of friends. This could be somebody who spends a lot of time on a passion project or one particular thing, and they don't make time for others very easily. I do think that this is somebody who has a bit of, it's like their approach to conversations at times can be acerbic or biting or this is like a little bit brash. I don't really use that word. Hopefully I use that correctly, but they just need a little bit of like sanding on the hard edges, just a little bit rough. But also a lot of having like an anchor, right? This is somebody who could have very mercurial personality, something that you can't really always anticipate how they're going to interact with you. But it could also be somebody who had some issues perhaps with finances. Earth Kitten, which is the Page of Pentacles. Death in the reverse. And the Five of Sky or the Five of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, this is somebody who has decided that if they really don't want things to be over with you, they acknowledge that they have to do something different. They have to go through a change. They have to be more open or kind or loving because they don't want to sabotage this connection with you. They don't want to lose your love. If you ever wondered if they were going to get introspective with it and make these changes, Yes, that's what they're doing right now. I do feel like you had been maybe growing a bit impatient because they were not willing to work on those things. Vessel, body, nourishment, wholesome nutrition, and health. I think for many of you, you have been concerned that this person has not been taking care of themselves. I'm going to refer to them as the Queen of Earth. That was the first card that came out for them. I do feel like the Queen of Earth energy is about being a bit stubborn. I don't normally see it that way. It's maybe just how the cat is sitting on the little throne here. But this is somebody who I feel would resist letting other people influence how they view the situation or what they decide. If they decide things are done, then that's just, how it is. But this person hadn't been taking the best care of their health. There's maybe, they needed to go work out, they needed to drink more water, they needed to eat better food, whatever it is. They are trying to make a pretty significant effort to address this. So it could be, no longer drinking, could be, I'm going to go for a walk every day. But it's because they have a greater understanding of what they want their life to look like or what they feel they're meant to do with their life. So that's a pretty heavy realization. They may have been avoiding that for a while, trying not to think about things that were so serious, but they feel pulled a particular direction. They have an ambition or a passion. And I do feel like it's about truth telling. They could be pursuing being an author, motivational speaker, something here with words, musician, but it impacts a larger group of people. Pierce, cutting, truth, sting, boundaries, and collective, global, together, united, earth, consciousness, and star seeds. I do feel like for many of you, there's a pretty strong Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo energy here. And this is somebody who is able to, when they speak, people listen. So the reference that I'm hearing is Sam Elliott. This could be someone who has a very rich voice or somebody who just has that kind of special quality. I don't know. Even if I didn't already love a lot of the things that I've seen Sam Elliott act in, I feel if I just randomly ran into the dude, didn't know who he was, just the way he talks, I'd be like, who is this character? What else do we have? Extraterrestrial, galactic, star races, light codes, ancient, and origins. And Gaia, plants, grounding, purification, herbs, holistic, and earth. I do feel like there's something to do with the earth. We keep getting references to that. That's probably why I chose the mystic cat, because pentacles are referred to as earth, right? This individual I'm seeing as the queen of earth. Don't get too caught up on gender. That could be anybody, right? Hello, Planet Brad. How are you doing? But this could be somebody who has recently found a great way to get grounded. Maybe they literally just went to the park and got their paws in the dirt, Maybe this is somebody who has a strong desire to buy a hobby farm or have a little garden out back. There's something to them about wanting to get back to basics or have something that's a little bit more meaningful. This could be someone who has been dealing with things that don't seem important to them anymore. Perhaps a job that they've lost interest in. The minutia is just kind of whatever. Significant change, though. I do think that this is one of the more impactful parts of their life or eras of their life where they're making pretty significant decisions, and they could be somewhat influenced by their connection with you, right? This is the Egyptian tarot. Yes. Thank you. What else do we have? Four of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. So much Earth energy. That's three more cards from the Pentacles. 4, 8, and 2. I love that. Because we already had the 8 of Pentacles at the beginning. We also had the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is, to me, almost like I start off working on something and I'm gruffy or irritable or like, whatever, I guess I have to do this. Maybe like kind of how I view going outside to take care of some weeds. I'm not real excited that that's what I'm about to do. But the more I do it and you have that benefit of seeing the before and after, like, oh, okay, this is looking really nice now that I've taken care of this. That appreciation for, beauty or seeing things look the way that you want. I feel like somebody is starting to realize as they do the work that they've needed to do, I feel better, right? I'm eating better, or I'm not drinking or not smoking, whatever it is. This is starting to like make sense to me now. This is why I'm doing this. Okay, what else do I need to do? Or if you're, cleaning your place and you just want to like clean up the kitchen a little bit, but then you keep, applying it to other areas. And before you know it, now the bathroom's all sparkly clean. This is somebody who didn't feel like they would get that motivation or that drive to deal with these things, but they did. And it's in part because they want to make things right with you. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Hanged Man. And the Empress in the reverse. So I pulled 7 cards from the Egyptian Tarot, and only one of them is not associated with Earth energy, the Hanged Man. Even the Empress, that would be Taurus energy. Then we have everything else is Pentacles. I think they're working on their money. I think they're working on their ability to be reliable, or an actual like companion, somebody who's there long term, right? They are addressing multiple things in their life. And we had the Hanged Man in the reverse at the top of this. Now we have the Hanged Man in the upright, which I love because this is indicative of somebody who has changed their perspective. And it's clarifying death in the reverse. I know I've been stubborn. I know I haven't been acknowledging that maybe I need to work on this. Maybe I need to change that. Maybe I need to be healthier, whatever it is. Okay. What do I need to sacrifice? Now, maybe you don't have a fatted calf. That's fine. I think you can still make it work. But they're making this change because they want to be able to make an offer from their best possible position, right? What can I do to do right by the things that you've asked me to do? The Empress in the reverse suggests that one of the major issues here has been emotional intimacy. The Fool, the 3 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Wands. They're working up the courage to have a conversation. I feel like they have a new job and they want to tell you about it. It's like when they have good news, you're the first person they think about. Like, okay, I really want to call them up and, see what they would say and see how they're doing. But they want to make sure when they connect with you that it's the right time. They want to have more than just one piece of good news. Hello, Voyager. How are you doing? What's up, Lemonade? Cheers. 6 of Wands in the reverse. Page of Swords in the reverse. Queen of Wands in the reverse. Page of Pentacles. There was resistance to changing their perspective, or there was a stubbornness here because if they had admitted that they needed to work on that, it would have first required them to admit that they'd done it wrong or that they failed or that it was their fault. And I do feel like ego was a little bit of a problem here. Me? Do something wrong? Oh, I haven't been wrong since 19.